Alright, so one thing I've always done well, no matter what 2K it is, and you can ask all the people around me, I always grind my players very fast. Pause. What I mean by that is I always finish my players. I get to 99 extremely fast. I don't even touch online modes. Obviously, I just do it straight through MyCAREER. Sometimes I touch online modes. I think I did this year and I did in current gen, but I was slacking a little bit more these times since we didn't have a full 5 for Pro-Am yet. I had stuff coming up, you know, from moving from college to my house both times. So these were one of my slowest times, but I'm gonna make a video now explaining what my method is and how I go about MyCAREER, and maybe it'll help everybody else grind MyCAREER faster or make their builds faster, because I really just been doing the same method for the last couple of years. If you're going to enjoy this video, please sub, like, and turn on notifications. First of all, this year, obviously, you got to choose between the G League or college. You always want to choose that. Do not go straight to the NBA. Most people go straight to the NBA if they want to play My Park or it's just Park now. They want to go to the city or they want to go whatever. They want to do something like that, so they just go straight to the NBA. You have no idea how easy the badge points and attribute points are when you play in those rookie modes. They give you maybe 10,000 points, 11,000 points a game if you play well, obviously, playing on rookie in college or the G League, versus if you played on pro. In the amount of time that college or G League takes in the NBA, you probably would make a lot less. So you always want to take advantage. Now granted, I will say, disclaimer, this year it's the worst. You only get maybe an extra 2,000. It used to be almost like an extra 10 to 12,000. This year is the worst it's been, but I mean, it's still worth it. I chose the G League simply because you get more badge points and more VC. And what they mean by that is, I figured this out a little while ago. They don't mean they're giving you a boost. They mean those little challenges you get 2 to 3 challenges every game. Those give you extra VC, and they also give you extra badge points if you complete them. You don't just get a boost, you have to actually complete them. But for the most part, they aren't very hard. I think the only one I couldn't complete was the rebounding, and that's because I'm a guard and I didn't upgrade my rebounding, so I couldn't get 8 to 10 rebounds a game. I don't remember which one it was, but it was something like that. So I choose the G League for those reasons. Go ahead and choose either college or G League. Do not go straight to the city. Once you get to the point where it's like you either choose Archie or choose the 2 women, choose Archie. I chose both. This new build, I chose the women, and it was definitely a bad idea because with Archie, you could pretty much get, I think it maxes out at 35 VC when you do the incentives or the endorsements, I mean, and you could pretty much get 32 VC and 2 incentives on your first time through. And I didn't even stretch it with Archie. Like, I just did whatever looked like they would accept it immediately. So I'm pretty sure you could probably get more, and that's what I would do every time. And then on your second tier, you pretty much could get maxed out VC, 2 incentives, and then every tier after that you can keep upping the incentives. Well, when you do the 2 women, I think you can get 32 VC and 1 incentive, and that's after forcing their hand 3 times. As you know, back in the old 2Ks, you could continuously ask for the same thing, and at some point they'll give up and be like, okay, you can have it. You got to do the same thing with the women just to get 32 VC and 1 incentive. You have to do, I think, 26 VC and 1 incentive, they say no. Then you do 30 and 1 incentive and they say no. Then you do 32 and 1 incentive and they'll say yes. So it's not really worth it compared to Archie, where you can get 32 and 2 incentives without him even saying no once, because I never once tried to stretch it with him. You probably could get more. So definitely choose Archie. You get the most VC. That's very important when it comes to grinding the build, because some people don't have the money to just go ahead and buy their build up. And even if you do, you might make another build and don't want to buy that one up. Or you might make a build that needs a little bit of boost and you don't want to have to buy VC for boost. So it's best to always do the best VC method while you're grinding your character. That's what I do every time. When it comes to playing the NBA, this is where a lot of people get misconstrued. They think, oh, should I put it on 12-minute quarters to grind on my badges? No. Put it on 5-minute quarters pro. The reason why I say that, and the reason why I do that every year, is because you want to get gym rat. I don't care what build you have, what your physicals are, what this, what that, you want to get gym rat. Gym rat is the most helpful badge in the game. On my last build, I moved like a power forward, an average speed power forward. When I got gym rat and got my overall up, at the end of it at 99 with gym rat, I moved like a slightly above average small forward. Now that doesn't sound like a big difference, but it's huge. Moving like a slightly fast small forward versus a average power forward is a huge difference. Well, this build, I already move like a fast power forward right now. When I get gym rat and my overall up, I should be moving like a fast guard, to be completely honest. So that's the difference between gym rat and overall. So you definitely want to go for gym rat. So I always go 5-minute quarters, pro difficulty. That's the easiest way to get these games knocked in, knocked out as quick as possible. Now, as you know, I'm not going to make a gym rat video, so I'm going to go ahead and say it now. All you got to do is get to the all-star game. As soon as you get to the all-star game, sim through, get to the finals. You got to play, well, you got to play every game into the all-star game. Let me correct that. Then get to the sim through to the final, or the playoffs, play every game of the playoffs, win the finals, boom, you get gym rat. That's how you get gym rat. Everybody says all these other stuff. That's the way you get gym rat. I'm not going to drop a video on it. I've dropped like 4 different videos on it on 4 different 2Ks. I'm not dropping another one. That's how you get gym rat. So I do that. Once you get into the next season, you always want to negotiate for that extra 1,000 VC or extra 100 VC, whatever it is. I can't remember. I think you can go from like 1,000 to 1,100 or something like that. It's something similar to that. Whatever it is, negotiate for it, because then you'll go ahead and get that extra 100 VC with every game that you play. And the difference is now, when we go through the next season, we already have our gym rat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Hall of Fame. Pro obviously doesn't give you the boost and badges that Hall of Fame does because it's a much easier difficulty. And then 5-minute quarters is getting taken up to at least 9 or 10. Now, most people, again, this is another mistake. They think 12-minute quarters, that's where I should be. No. There's two reasons that completely negate that idea. One, most people don't have the attention span to play a 12-minute quarter game continuously throughout the day. Now, if you're only grinding for 1 to 2 hours, 3 hours max, and you playing on 12-minute quarters, that's 2-3 games, and then you're like, okay, I'm done for the day. That's not very efficient. Now, you could do that, but that's not very efficient. But this second reason is the real reason that you shouldn't do that. Number 2, 12-minute quarters is a long game, and when it comes to badges and badge points in 2K, what's one thing we always knew that will always remain the same? Everything has a cap. So when you throw 20 lobs, now this is just a random number, I don't know the number, but if you throw 20 lobs on Hall of Fame trying to get playmaking badges and you get 6,000 points, if you throw 21, you'll still get 6,000 points. You throw 22, you'll still get 6,000 points, because 6,000 points is the cap for the amount of lobs you can throw and get points off of. Now, could you do regular passes now or some other type of pass and get more points? Yes, but you can't throw any more lobs. And if your entire method is throwing lobs and you throw 30 lobs and still get 6,000 points, whereas you could throw 20 lobs and get 6,000 points, you just wasted a good amount of time of that game throwing extra lob. And that's the issue with 12-minute quarters that I've run into. When I grind out a certain category of badges, I'll keep doing the same thing over and over again, which is the most efficient way. And if you want to figure out all the most efficient ways, I've dropped all those videos already. But when you do that, the most efficient way is to keep doing it over and over again, but there is a cap. If you go in to catch lobs, I think the cap is somewhere around 25. I think it's the same thing for Lob City Passer, obviously. And I think that's on Hall of Fame. If you do it on lower difficulties, you get less points, so you can do more. But on Hall of Fame, if you do 25 lob catches, I don't think you can pass that. Whatever the amount of points is, I don't know. Like, let's say 5,000, 6,000, 10,000. Let's just say 10,000. Let's say it caps at 10,000. If you have a great game and get 45 lobs that you caught, and you drop 90 points all off of lobs on 12-minute quarters Hall of Fame, you're still getting 10,000 points. So there's absolutely no reason to play on 12-minute quarters. You don't want to even run into that. So I always do 9 to 10-minute quarters. Usually I do 9. You can do 10 if you want to stretch it, but I do 9-minute quarters because that way, if the cap is 25 lob passes and I'm going for like playmaking badges and defensive badges, I'm not just standing on the other half of the court, I probably won't pass 30 lob passes because the coach is going to take me out for at least a quarter length total. So I got 3 quarters on 9 minutes to throw 30 lobs. I'll probably just barely hit that. So whatever the cap is, I probably won't exceed it. And if I do, it won't be by that much. Now, you could do your own research and figure out what the cap is. I'm not doing that. That's a lot of research to do. But that is why I play on 9 and 10 minute quarters. And obviously you want to play on Hall of Fame. Also, one important thing that a lot of people forget and don't do. Every 10 to 15 games that you play, you can do it in the first half before you got your gym rat. In the first season, I don't, because I just want to get my gym rat as quick as possible. But in the second season or the first season, if you choose to, you want to check every 10 to 15 games practice, because legend practice pops up after a certain amount of games has been played. So if you play 10 to 15 games and go to practice, I can't guarantee, but there's a 90% chance you'll have a legend practice. And we all know legend practice gives you ×3, or is it ×2, to every drill that you do. And that gives you a lot of badges when you complete those drills effectively. Obviously, you do the free throw drill, you get 3 stars every time. And now that ×3 gives you 2,250 points for 4 different drills. I mean, at this point, you just played a game. That's my method. Those are all the things I do to grind out my players, and that's how I get them done so quick. That on top of the fact that I also have this motivation in myself to keep going over and over. Even if I don't want to do it, I just keep going. I push myself. You got to find that within yourself. But I gave you the platform, I gave you the blueprint, and that's the way I do it. So if you like this video, like it, comment, subscribe, share it. Please support channel. I'm trying to make as many videos as I can. I'm dropping videos at the videos. If you want my socials, it's itsGeeFazo, and we go.